Assassin's Creed Revelations. Assassin's Creed Revelations marks the final playable chapter in Ezio's trilogy and a proper ending to the life of Altair. The game is based in Constantinople, and the start of it starts off with Ezio going to Masyaf, the old assassin's home from the Crusades. I really love this game more now in the future from when I first played it. I wasn't as appreciative of it as I am older now. This is one of the darkest games in the series, and I would describe the game as fractured due to the Dark Animus theme and the way Desmond is in a coma. The start of the game is really the best part about it. As you return to Masyaf and the venture to Istanbul, where Ezio gets to know the city and adapts to the culture. The main objective of the overall game is for Ezio to find all the memory seal keys of Altair to open the door to Altair's library. Revelations deals with Lucy's death in a non-explanatory way. That is until you play the Lost Archives DLC, where it explains that she was a Triple Templar agent through the eyes of Clay. It is also revealed that Juno guided Clay to help Desmond reach his path to the Grand Temple. Subject 16, or Clay Kazamak, is honestly one of my favourite characters, not just in the game, but out of all the series. His story is tragic and mysterious, and Revelations gave him justice to the way they portrayed him. Now, the biggest thing I felt that Revelations did that I didn't like was the city. The reason I didn't like it is because of the layout of the districts. Lots of the buildings and areas were the same, or felt the same, and the relevant landmarks didn't have that much significance compared to AC3 and Brotherhood. I'm not saying it's bad, but because in truth it felt like an updated Damascus and Jerusalem. But overall, the city was the weakest point for me. Now, the best thing about this game is playing as Ezio as an older, wiser man. He still has that charm and sense of humour after all those years, and watching his family and home get destroyed. This game also sees Ezio admire and really look up to Altair. Ezio sees Altair as sort of a mentor in a sense, a reflection of himself. Altair lost most of his family and his home for many years. They both seem like they are brothers, hundreds of years apart. This game brings back Altair in new playable missions of key moments of his life, like directly after AC1, before the start of AC1, between AC1 and Bloodlines. Revelations does the best job it can do of concluding Ezio and Altair's journey in a perfect way. Their journey ends almost at the same time as Altair dying and Ezio retiring, and the fact that Ezio talks to Altair in a linear way is amazing. It's sad that Altair died in the way that he was alone, but I like to think that Altair died on the same day that he sat down, and he did so peacefully. Revelations wraps up so good. The only critique I have is that the very end, where you see Desmond has the pedestal code thing on his arm for a brief second, and it barely gets explained in AC3, but apart from that, its ending was good. You could argue that an epilogue scene could have worked where Ezio returns to Firenze, or where his family was hanged, but they do pay it off in embers. Overall, Revelations is a game I appreciate more now as I'm older, and I'm dying to replay it in the future. It summarizes Ezio's and Altair's story beautifully, and the positives outweigh the negatives. Revelations is a true Assassin's Creed game, and should be an example of these new games like Valhalla and Odyssey of what to do and what to be more like.